Hello and welcome to TA for Traders. It's Thursday the 21st of September and I'm Nigel Croft. In this video we'll be looking at two UK stocks and two US stocks. In the UK we're going to look at Mitchels and Butler, MAB, which has come out with a earnings forecast today and the shares are down. We'll then move on to a favourite stock of mine where I do have a holding, which is BooHoo, which is the code BOO. We expect further upside there. We'll then move over to America. We'll first of all look at AMD, where there was talk yesterday evening they're going to do a deal with Tesla. We'll look at the charts there, and then we'll finish looking at VEON. Now they've done a secondary offering overnight. It was 373 million and it was done at a discount, a very narrow discount, 0.72%. And we'll look at the charts there. If it can break a key resistance, it could have a very good move. Let's look at those charts. So here we are starting with Mitchels and Butler. As I said, they've come out with a earnings forecast which has hit the shares today. That's taken us down below supports and below the 50-day, you can see there, and has also broken the has made the RSI go well below 50, 39.63, and has made it now indicate negative momentum. You can see that we did have an uptrend that's now been broken. The support may be at 230, but below there we're looking at the low 220s, below 224 down to 220. The 200-day did move up. That's now moving sideways. That will roll down again, and you're going to get the 20's already started to roll down. You will get the others rolling down. On the longer term picture, you can see that we're in a base building phase. Perhaps you can see that the downtrend, the angle of the downtrend, is getting ever narrower or less steep, sorry, and that's the start of a base and building picture, which will eventually start to move back upwards. But at the moment you can't say that. All you can say is that the 220 has proven to be a key support on 3 occasions. But it does look like we are going to go back and test that. We're now back below the 20-week and the 50-week. They're both tracking down at both resistance levels and are likely to push us down to that 220. There we might bounce again, bubble along between 220, 230, maybe even back up to 240 for quite a time. And eventually we will get the base build, the base and picture, but it's going to be in months. At the moment, trade to the downside. If this 220 support doesn't hold, then it will be a quick move down between 220 and 200. On the RSI, we've gone back below 50, 44.97. Not quite in a downtrend yet, but it's broken its uptrend, and the MACD are flatlining. On the shorter term, we've broken down below today the rising 200 4-hour average. The 20 did cross the 50 a couple of days ago, so indicated bearishness, and then we bounced up to the 50 and come off, so that's all quite bearish. RSI is negative. We are down at 32.85, and the MACD are just crossing as well. So a negative picture overall. As I said on Mitchell and Butler, long term a base and building picture, but expects these or potentially below 220, the 220 support to be tested. If that fails, it could go down to £2. Right, BooHoo, which obviously has been a very good performer. We've had a flag which has been quite elongated. It's taken us through from June right through to September. We've had a break up, which is very positive. Yes, we've consolidated again to the side, but it's only a matter of time before we break up again. The next break up will, I'm hoping or expecting to break us into new high ground, maybe up to above the 280 level. On the RSI, we just drifted. It's now picked back up 59.49, not in a downtrend, so be aware of that, but it is above 50, and the MACD are flat lining. They're not quite as bullish as I would hope, but it only take a couple of days uptick for those to prove bullish again. And I think if this consolidation continues any longer, we are going to get the 20-day catching up very quickly, and then that could give the push that's needed to push us above the initial resistance at 256, and then up towards these resistance levels at above 217, 273. On the weekly, we've allowed the 20-week to catch up, which is good, and it did find support there. Obviously, it's moved very strongly, this share, but as I said, I am expecting further upside. The RSI is indicating positive momentum. It's just flatlining, but it's at 66, and the MACD as well are flatlining. On the 4-hour chart, perhaps this is what's creating the short-term consolidation. The 24-hour has started to move down and is at a resistance level, but before long we're going to get the 50 catching up, which should then give the push back up through the 20. RSI here actually in a downtrend and is below 50, 48.25, slightly negative. I'd only really get concerned about that if we did crack down and go through the support of this 54-hour average. MACD also a concern. So keep your eye on things on BooHoo, but looking at the daily, it does look like a flag. The consolidation could continue longer given the momentum we're seeing in the short terms, but once it ticks back up, it will move through the resistance. Okay, going across to the US, Advanced Micro Devices had a good move yesterday. Rumours of some tie-up with Tesla. This has broken the very short-term downtrend. It's confirmed the 200-day as solid support, and we've moved back above the 50. The 20 will cross the 50 in the next couple of days. So keep your eye out whether the 50 was moving up at that point. I think it will be, which would be a golden cross and a good sign. And you can see that the momentum has picked up. The RSI now at 63.91, so positive there. And you can see that the next resistance level is at the 15. MACD as well, short term just gone above the long term on yesterday's move, and that is shouting a buy. On the weekly, here you can see that perhaps we're having a kind of an elongated flag. There is resistance, 14.18, but it's positive that the 20-week moving average is giving the push up on the stock. The RSI is again trying to create an uptrend and is at 56. And the MACD in another week or so will cross over in a bullish configuration. Short term, here, what I love is that all the moving averages are together. This is actually the reason why I'm looking at this stock today. This is a very positive sign. The moving averages have all converged. They're all starting to move up. They've given the push. This is the trampoline effect I've talked about on numerous other videos. This stock will move higher, and I'll be not surprised at all if we are testing the resistance at 15 before long. You can see the positive momentum. The RSI here is at 67.61, and the MACD also are positive. Okay, moving on to the final stock of today, VEON. As I said, they've had a secondary. I didn't note down the price it traded at actually, but it was a very narrow discount of 0.72. Whilst the secondary's been ongoing, it's come under some selling pressure. That's brought us back to the 20-day, but that's moving up. All the moving averages will give support. The RSI has ticked down to 50, presently at 50.65, so keep your eye on that. But the key chart that we need to look at is the weekly. Now here, this picture can be very interesting if we manage to break above the 450 level, because then that's a confirmation of the base build above 450, and we could be very quickly moving up towards the 5.5 against to the 200 week, which is at 5.41, and maybe even above there towards 6. But we do need to break these resistance levels, which go up to, as I said, 450. The 20 and 50 are moving up, so they will be supports. They're down at 4 and at 391. It's also positive that the RSI did reach a peak last week, on the peak in the market and on the stock, so that is all attractive, and the MACD just about to be show a buy as well, so all quite attractive there, but we do need to break that resistance. So we've looked at 4 stocks. Mitchels and Butler didn't look good. BooHoo looks good. Consolidation may continue a bit longer, but when it breaks, it should break upwards. AMD looked good as well, and then VEON had a secondary, needs to break 451, but if it does break that resistance, it could move very quickly and nearly potentially up to 6. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you found it of interest. If you are not a subscriber to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe, hit the button. You then get email updates. I don't just cover single stocks. I look at equity indices, commodities, and the FX markets. I'm trying to come out with videos 3 days a week or 4 days a week, and so you'll be getting 12 or 16 videos a week to watch, and hopefully they'll give you some indications of what I look at on technicals. The videos are for information only. They're not meant as an investment recommendation, and please do read the disclaimer.